Disclaimer, the following video has been marked as not made for kids, and as a result may contain some of the following. Viewer discretion is advised. And now that we have all that out of the way, let's pack it up, pack it in, and let this crap begin. Enjoy, you guys. Take care. Bye. I Sitsu, my fellow Salotus, it is I, Chaos, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Now, we're playing this right after the last episode. I just simply cut that one to go for the episode before it, give a proper ending to it. Because I never usually do. When I realize the video is too long, like the Slendy Something video, it kind of abruptly ends without me doing an outro. It's just kind of like, you hear the music pop in, and then finished. We're done. So yeah, this is the same recording session. This is the same recording video as well, the same recording footage, so I'll be splitting it up when I do the editing itself, but we're about to jump into the trial itself for the second episode, so let's see how it goes. I also still haven't closed my Battle.net thing, because I didn't want to ruin the footage, so expect that it's probably going to pop up again if Andre's still not finished playing Modern Warfare. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Is that a good name to give Edgeworth? I don't want to give him an edgy voice, despite the fact he's called Edgeworth. I just feel like it ruins his very noble and posh character. I guess just like the prosecution is ready, Your Honor. We'll go with something like that. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin, then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer of the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Okay, so you had like a Texan accent. Witness, please state your name and prosecution to the court. Sir! My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. I really wish it was like a terrible drawing. Yeah, it looks like a penis. The body was found by the window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the finger found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hand, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They are still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Okay, so I've got to compare that now. Fair play. Now, detective. Yes, sir? You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I've had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Oh, Christ. Okay. I'm really nervous for this. I'm really concerned about getting it wrong. As soon as the phone call came, let me start again. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There are two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh. Schmack. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. Is she? What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Heh, I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Now, I'm immediately suspect of the time. That's one thing I could have picked up, because I think they said... Let me go back to seeing it. So, time there already. Defendant Miss Maya Fey and the lawyer Mr. Phoenix Wright immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey while we had a witness account describing her. Witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. Okay. So, there was the phone call that occurred, and there was a time... Maya gave me a time at one point when she came there, I believe. Wait, hang on. Did he know my name? Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal, your dumb act will only get you so far. Your funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair. You two stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, he does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. I should pick my points to press with a little more care. Okay, so that was a bit unnecessary. This one. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in Pink's claims was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough. Detective Gumshoe, do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes! Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about it first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Okay. Oh, this is picking up. This is generally making me, like, really clammy. I don't like it, but I kind of do. After securing the suspect, I examined... Oh, sorry, I should do it in the voice. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word "Ma" was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Okay, so there is a way to test it. Also, there was a blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How you like that? That's my hard evidence. That doesn't immediately mean that it was her, though. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor? Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? Yeah, I know, I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay, hard evidence. Now, immediately, there is nothing that specifies that the... Hang on, so after securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. And a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results show that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. This is whole testimony. Okay, there has to be a contradiction in there somewhere. Let's find it. Right. You examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper. Was it a memo? Just because you found it next to the body doesn't mean the victim wrote it. Ho, then who did write it, smarty pants? Who? I did. The killer. The killer. Anyone can see that. Oh. You're saying the killer wrote her own name, buddy? Buddy, please. She was framed. Oh god, Edward is jumping in. Hold on. If that's the case, where's your evidence? I guess that was a bit of a tall order for you. Those without evidence shouldn't open their mouths, Mr. Wright. Yeah, pal. Well, Detective, tell us what was written on that memo you found. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results show that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Wait! Wasn't... Wasn't it instant? Wasn't she killed instantly? Death was instantaneous, so it was immediate. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Maya Fey, wrote this note that she was accusing the defendant, Mia Fey. That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those law tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is the report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Yeah, I was suspect, and I got it right. Just took me a while to get to it. Order! Order! The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? The day after the murder. I was given it to her by Gumshoe. It was the day after the murder. The prosecution's points being? That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. Okay, I can't counteract him here. That would be just back and forth action of objections. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Died from a blow by a blunt object may have lived for a few minutes after being hit. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes? Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? She's always like in the cat stands. I guess it's just her character. Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Wink. I don't know why I said wink. Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Oh, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. He's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was, in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. Okay. This is where it gets important. Let me point this out. It was 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know? And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. And the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. And the woman with that long hair, she kind of slumped. The end, that's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. This is making me sick just doing this voice, I swear. Well, Your Honor, I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Maya Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques very well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes, I'm doing it. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. Only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. It was like 9 PM at night. I looked out the window. Okay, I can back out of evidence. I want to just check what the report was. So this is apparently it, right? 9:27 AM, so this is in the morning. She's on about at night. Okay. Why did you do that? Huh? Why? Like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. What? That's it? You can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, you know... I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press a little harder on this one. Yeah, go for it. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Oh! Oh god. Mr. Wright, I will not have your badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Oh, for God's sake. Order! Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me? You looked out the window. What did you see next? The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that... You're lying. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless about this. I mean... Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But... Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? What are you trying to say? You mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. Okay, I think that was supposed to happen, so that's okay. I did see everything. I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attacker, ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock. That kind of statuey clock. The thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? She's referring to it as a clock. No one has done that yet. Everyone's referred to it as a statue. I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Now, there are two things I'm suspect with here. For starters, she was on about her running off to the right, despite the fact the body was found in front of the window. Secondly, she mentioned it being the clock when everyone else is referred to it as the statue. I did see everything, I did! Oh, sorry, I should probably just done. Then the woman dodged the first attack, ran off to the right, and the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, it did. That clock, that kind of statue-y thing. Her previous testimony must have been what Edgeworth wanted her to say. So this was the testimony in her own words? Time to press and squeeze the truth out of her. Figuratively, of course. Yeah, because how does she know this is a clock? Everyone else referred to it as a statue, didn't they? Okay, I'll do this first. Is that right as in your right? As you look from the hotel? Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Sorry? Right, it was my right hand. Right. Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue. Okay, let me check the evidence again quickly. Because I'm pretty sure Gumshoe... Because I found her body. It was in the middle. It was where the window was. So she's saying she ran off to the right, and then she hit her in the right. Despite the fact that is not the case. I need to talk to her about this too. Clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. This is getting a big ring. I'm going to show her the statue. Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock, but there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too, and he was found guilty of murder. Order! Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Ooh. Uh-oh. The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. It isn't. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. No. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Or only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Whew, that was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over. Huh? What? So, what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it. Yes, I heard it. Say the time. So you've been to the law offices at Fayette Co? No. Hey, I didn't say that. Why wouldn't I go there? Or why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. The law offices of Fayette Co, where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? I'm glad he could do it first. No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... it couldn't have rung. Your Honor, members of the court... it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. It's empty. That clock is missing the clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look, right now. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It's as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Well, Miss May? Oh, God. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow. He knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? I already know this because there was a talk between Maya and Maya earlier, and she said she removed it. If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction.
That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it.
And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed?
I can indeed. Impossible, of course. I have proof.
What?
Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is... Let me just check this conversation. I had to take the clockwork out. Yeah, I had to put some papers inside it. Take this. Take a look at this.
That's a very cute cell phone.
Oh, you have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone. Listen, this is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder.
Order! Order!
The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. Guess I'm just gonna skip this so I can save my voice a bit. We already heard it. September 5th, 9:27 AM. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot.
So the witness had seen it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright?
Yes, because it was made by Larry Butts. The witness claims she had seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court.
Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock before.
It's itself, isn't it? It was made by Larry Butts. It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world, and the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible! Everything I sold in stores! Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, the excuse is not on sale today? Wow, I'm being such an ass. Ooh, ooh. Oh god. Alright, she's getting angry. Oh, Jesus. Oh, don't tell me. Oh god, it went upside down. Was it you, Porcupine Head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! No.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Oh, silly me. Did I, lose it? I guess I did. Scary.
Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock?
Oh, God.
Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior?
Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... you held it. This is familiar territory. I'll just use the same approach as with Larry. Miss May held that very clock in her hands.
Mr. Wright, when was this?
when she used it to strike the victim. When else? No, wait, she didn't. She didn't. It was the guy, I think.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
April May, you killed Maya Fey, I say. And when you struck, the force of the impact made the finger ring. That's when you heard it. No, I'm wrong. Because the clockwork wasn't working. You truly are a work of art, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What's that supposed to mean? It was you who just proved that the thinker was empty. Oh, of course it wouldn't ring. What's more, the witness has a rock-solid alibi. Miss May, perhaps you could explain to the poor, misguided Mr. Wright. I should have said she heard it. That's what I should have said. Actually, no, even though that worked. You were in the hotel at the time of the murder. She can't prove it. She did it. It would be my pleasure. No way. Yes way, Mr. Lawyer. Didn't the murder take place at 9 at night? That's the exact time I ordered some room service from the hotel bellboy. Incidentally, the bellboy corroborates the witness's story. Ergo, she was not at the crime scene. Rock solid. I may have just blown the case.
Mr. Wright, you've just made a serious accusation against a perfectly innocent woman.
Sorry, Your Honor. That didn't go so well. If that's the case, then how did she know the thinker was a clock? Wait! Your Honor, I figured it out. There is one other way Miss April could have known it was a clock. One way alone, and I have proof.
Well, proof you say? Then the court will examine your proof, Mr. Wright. How did the witness know the thinker was a clock?
I can only say it's the wiretap, can't I? Have a look at this. Oh, that! I found this in Miss May's room.
Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is.
Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Maya Fey's phone, were you not? Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap.
This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple.
What?
Here's my proof. The proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is... Oh, I don't know what to say about this. The proof that the victim, aka Maya, said on the phone that the victim was a clock is... Yeah, it's in here, right? It says... The proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is this. I present the defendant's cell phone.
Yes, we've seen that.
Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. It's a clock. Miss April May, you used the wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer.
Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May.
Shut up, all of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer! It's no fair, all of you, ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it? Oh, she's crying. God damn it. That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. You did it, didn't you? Miss May, confess. You did it, didn't you? Are you out of your mind? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're a lawyer. You must be. Oh yeah, of course, you didn't. Call the bellboy as a witness, I guess. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunken quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent. And thereby you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition. I guess I accept the condition. Edgeworth, you're putting me on the frigging edge, dude. I wonder if that's the point. Fool. You fell right into my trap.
Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand.
I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy.
Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I am happy to be of service. That Caesar looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir.
I completely forgot about what Edgeworth's objection, his conditions were. So, if the same testimony pops up apparently, and it proves that she is innocent and wasn't the one killing, which I don't think she was now, I'm thinking it was the man. I think it absolutely was the man. Then I'm immediately guilty.
I am the head bellboy of the Fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received the call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Maya will be finished. I'm the head bellboy at the Fine Gatewater Hotel. I'm in business for 4 generations. I believe I received the call after 8 in the evening. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone?
Absolutely, sir.
How can you be so certain?
I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in her all stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes, what then?
Can I go back on this point again? Are you sure it was Miss... Hang on, so I've already done this, right? Saw them. So, I'm getting the idea here that he also saw the murder. He was flustered about it. Precisely 9 then?
Precisely. Exactly. And most definitely, sir. 9 p.m.
How can you be so sure?
Miss May was quite insistent that it would be brought then.
Oh, bellboy, I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9.
Something like that, sir. Therefore I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir.
Why would she be so particular about the time? Okay, so that's about the time. 9 on the dot, you say?
Yes, I confirmed the details several times. She was watching a program on the television and wished a drink after she finished, sir.
9. The time of the murder? Okay, so ask about Miss May. You are sure it was Miss April May herself?
Absolutely, sir.
Absolutely?
Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine.
How come you're so very certain?
Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favoured me with an embracer, sir.
Embracer? Is that French for embrace?
It's French for kiss, sir, but not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prime demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. It's no good. There's nothing there. Is it really it? Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here.
It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand.
Can't this happen, can I? Protest. If I'm already gone this far. Wait, please wait.
Yes? Does the defense have something to add?
One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough.
Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question. That's all.
Okay. This is really it. Now, this is my last chance. What do I ask him about? It's either the check-in or the room service, but I don't know which one I need to ask. Tell me again about room service.
Again, sir? At exactly 9, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest had requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall.
I see. $18? That seems a bit expensive.
Yes, well, iced coffee for 2, you know. And we don't skimp on the ice, sir.
What did he say? What did you say?
Rather quite.
Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room?
I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see.
Why did you not mention this in your testimony?
Well, sir, you didn't ask.
Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention.
Yes, quite. Indeed. It was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention if it wasn't specifically asked, sir.
Oh my god, he ratted him out!
Oh boy!
You fool! Oh, I think the credibility is done. I've done it. I've won! Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room?
That's right, sir.
Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... the man with Miss May. The man who checked in with Miss May. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone. Yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder.
My, what a convenient little setup. But it's too late.
Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court.
Upstart. Amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough! The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm in pain. This has been so much on the brain. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know? And again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his, with his eyes wide and his trembling lips. I sent shivers up my spine. Oh, it sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? A man with Miss May. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that? Anyway. I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm going to find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis. Oh, sis. Don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise. I'm counting on you. I'm losing the voices now. I've been doing this for almost 2 hours. Give me a break. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. One part that hasn't been stricken. Victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. That I remember still, because the detective said, well, the body was found in the middle, so why was it in the right? I don't know how much good this will do for me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in their detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. To be continued. Oh, thank God. Alright, I think that's enough Phoenix Wright for me today on this sitting of mine. Okay, so that was very stressful. There was a lot to go through, but despite the fact I made some mistakes, again, it seems. Apparently I did, I think. I'm assuming that bar on the top right indicates, like, how, like, much credibility I still have or something. And as far as I'm aware, that was still full, so maybe I didn't do anything wrong, I thought. But regardless, we did it. We got her arrested, and obviously the other guy, who we know he was the one who murdered her. But obviously there was no concrete evidence saying at the time that he was the one, so... It probably would have been better if I said that she heard it, then she did it, because she obviously didn't do it. But the point is, we did it. Glad of that. I need to go lie down or something for a bit, and maybe get something to eat, because, God, I am very, very flushed right now with all this. But regardless, hope you guys all enjoyed. Till then, hope you all enjoyed. As I just said, I'm completely losing my words already. I've been Chaos. You've been there with someone for us, as you always are. Until this time, remember to do usual, like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, maybe go follow me on Twitter for updates and stuff, because in case you don't know me by now, inconsistency is my quality. There's various links in the description below to my Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, all that kind of stuff. Most importantly, of all things, ladies and gentlemen, take care, everybody. Sayonara!